Hello friends, my name is Saurabh Mishra. After a long time, I am back with my new YouTube channel, and today we will discuss about the matrices and its types. So if you did not subscribe my channel till now, then do it, and now we will discuss about the matrices and its types. So now we will discuss about the definition of the matrix. What is the definition of the matrix? A matrix is an arrangement of the various elements in the horizontal and vertical lines. In the matrix, the horizontal lines are called as the rows, while the vertical lines are called as the columns. Here we can see that A11, A12 and A1n. This is the horizontal line, so it will be known as rows, while A11, A21, AM1 and A12, A22, AM2. This is the vertical lines and it will be known as the columns. And the order of the matrices are given as the row into the column. Here the number of the rows are m and the columns are the n. So the order of the matrix will be the m into n. Here we can see that the matrix does not gives any particular value as like the determinant. We know that the determinant A11, A12, A21 and A22 will be the equal value A11 into A22 minus A12 into A21, while the matrix cannot give the any particular value. So this is the clear definition for the matrix, and now we will discuss about the types of the type of the matrix is the row matrix. The matrices which have only one row but more than one columns will be known as the row matrix. Here we can see that only one row but the numbers of columns 1, 2, 3 and n. So the order of the matrix will be the 1 into n. And the next type of the column matrix is the column matrix. Here a matrix with only one column. Here we can see that only one column but more than one rows, one row, two row and n rows. Though it will be known as the column matrix, and order will be this one, the n is to n. Next type of the matrix are the zero matrix, and it is also known as the null matrix. What is this? A matrix in which all the elements are zero are called as the zero matrix. Here we can see that every elements of the A is the zero. So this will be the zero matrix, or it may be known as the null matrix. Next one, what is the vertical matrix? A matrix which has greater number of rows than the columns. It means, if we take an example here, here we can see that the order of the matrix is m cross n. If here m is the greater than n, then it will be the vertical matrix, while if n is the greater will be the m, then it will be known as the horizontal matrix. As we can know that a matrix which has greater members of columns than the rows, it will be known as the horizontal matrix. If here n will be the greater than m, so this will be the horizontal, and it m is greater than n, then it will be the vertical matrix. We will discuss about the square matrix. What is the square matrix? The matrix which has equal members of the rows and columns will be known as the square matrix. It means that m will be equal to the n. It can be says that number of the rows is equal to number of the column. In this example we can say that the number of the rows are 3 and the number of columns are the 3. So it may be known as square matrix. Similarly here this is the number of the rows are 3 and the columns are 3. So the order of this will be the 3 cross 3, and both are the will be the square matrices. Now the next type of the matrix are the triangular matrix. What is this? A matrix which has all the upper diagonal elements and or all the lower diagonal elements are zero will known as the triangular matrix. There are two types of this one. First one is the upper triangular and second will the lower triangular. What is the upper triangular? A matrix with all the lower elements zero known as the upper triangular matrix. In this example we can say that the elements below the triangular are the 0, so it will be the example of the upper triangular. Similarly, the lower triangular matrix, a matrix with all the upper elements 0, known as the lower triangular elements. Here we can say that the elements above the triangular diagonal will 0, so it will be the lower triangular matrix. Next, sometimes we will be the question, what is the diagonal of the matrix? Just we can take this example 1 1 3 3. We know that this is the diagonal, here this is the diagonal, but in such type of matrices 1 2 3 4 9 7 9 2 3, what is the diagonal? The diagonal elements are those where I is equal to j. Here this is the A11, A12, A13, A14, A21, A22, A23 and A24. Here we can say that I is equal to j and I is equal to j. So the diagonal of this matrix will be the 1 and n. The next type of the matrices are the diagonal matrix. What is the diagonal matrix? A matrix with all non-diagonal elements are 0. Here we can say that the non-diagonal elements are the 0 while the diagonal elements are non-zero, and it is always a square matrix. The next type of the matrix is the unit or identity matrix. Here we can see that it is also a diagonal matrix. So the diagonal matrix is called as the unit or identity matrix if its diagonal elements are unit. Here we can see that every diagonal elements are the 1 are unit, and the 1 usually it is denoted by in. Here we can see that the order of the matrix is 3 cross 3, so it is denoted by I3. Scalar matrix. What is the scalar matrix? A diagonal matrix is called as the scalar matrix if its diagonal elements are equal. It means that every diagonal elements are the same. Here we can see that the diagonal elements are the all are the lambda. One more example, it can be taken as 2 0 0 2. Here we can see that the diagonal elements are the 2 and 2. So the diagonal matrix which diagonal elements are the same known as the scalar matrix. Type of the matrix is the symmetric matrix. What is the symmetric matrix? A square matrix A is said to be symmetric matrix if A transpose is equal to A. Here we can see that in this example A is equal to 7 3 3 9 and the transpose of the 7 3 will be 7 3 and 3 9 will be 3 9. Here we can see that A and A transpose are the equal, so A transpose equal to A, so this will be an symmetric matrix. The next type is the skew symmetric. What is the skew symmetric? A square matrix is said to be skew symmetric if A transpose is equal to minus A. Here we can see that in this example the matrix is 1 2 and minus 2 3. On transposing, what we will find 1 minus 2 will be 1 minus 2 and 2 3 will be this one 2 3. On commoning minus 1 we will find 1 2 minus 2 3 which is equal to A, so A transpose is equal to minus A. The next type of the matrix is the orthogonal matrix. A square matrix is said to be orthogonal matrix if the product of a matrix A and its transpose. फिर से करो पे हम घड़ी देख लिए बीच में. The next type of the matrix is the orthogonal matrix. A square matrix is said to be orthogonal matrix if the product of the matrix A and its transpose A transpose is identity matrix. Here we can see that the multiplication of A and A transpose or A transpose A is equal to I. Here we can check it on the example A is equal to cos theta, sin theta, minus sin theta and cos theta. The next one is the conjugate of a matrix. The matrix obtained from any given matrix A on replacing its element by the corresponding complex conjugate number is said to be conjugate of the matrix A represented by A dash. Here we can see that in this example the matrix A is equal to A 1 plus I, 1 minus I, 1 plus I minus 1, and the transpose of the 1 plus I is 1 minus I, 1 plus minus I is the 1 plus I, 1 plus I is the 1 minus I, and I minus 1 is the minus I minus 1. Hence A will be the conjugate matrix of the A dash, or A dash will be the conjugate matrix of the A. The conjugate matrix. What is this? the transpose of the conjugate of a given matrix is said to be conjugate matrix. Here we can see that if A is the matrix 1 plus I, 1 minus I, 1 plus I minus 1, then its transpose will be 1 plus I, 1 minus I, 1 minus I, 1 plus I, 1 plus I, 1 minus I, and I minus 1 will be minus I minus 1. And the transpose of this one will be A theta, or it may be given as 1 minus I, 1 minus I, 1 plus I, 1 plus I, 1 minus I, 1 minus I, and minus 1 I minus 1 will be minus I minus 1. The next one will be the unitary matrix. What is this one? A square matrix A is said to be unitary matrix if A theta will be equal to A theta A will be equal to unit matrix. And the next one will be the Hermitian matrix. This will be any matrix will be Hermitian if the conjugate matrix of that matrix will be equal to that matrix, and skew Hermitian if the conjugate matrix of that matrix will be equal to negative of that matrix, as we can see that in these two. The next type of the matrix is the idempotent matrix. Here we can see that the square of the matrix, if the square of the matrix is equal to that matrix, then it's said to be idempotent. But when the square of that matrix is equal to identity matrix, so that will be involutory matrix. So friends, if I help you in the study of the matrix and its type, then like, comment and share my video and subscribe my channel. Thanks for the watching the video.